for joining us today as we celebrate the class of 2026. Beyond the class of 2026, we'll also be celebrating other members of the Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall community during this annual Baccalaureate ceremony. My name is Lance Conrad. I'm the very, very proud head of school, and it is my privilege and honor to first welcome members of this graduating class, as well as their parents and guardians, plus faculty, staff, students, trustees, advisors, friends, families, and all those that might be around the world watching through live stream right now. Thank you for being here. Beginning in 1857 and continuing throughout much of the 20th century, the pending graduates of Chapel Hill School gathered in our old stone chapel just over the hill to participate in a baccalaureate ceremony on the eve of their commencement from the well-respected all-girls school. It was very much a time-honored tradition that disappeared for several decades with the merger of Chapel Hill and Chauncy Hall in 1972. Chauncy Hall, on the other hand, an all-boys preparatory school established in Boston's downtown crossing back in 1828, held similar exercises for nearly 150 years. These were known as anniversary exhibitions. Now, the exhibitions required graduates to spend 2 days before commencement displaying competencies in various subject areas, including the English language, classics, mathematics, even penmanship. Moreover, each graduate was required to participate in the second day's exercises of declamation, whereby all prospective graduates would give, in essence, their senior presentations before receiving a diploma. There were 35 in that first year, back in 1828. They would begin with the salutatory address, and they would end with the valedictory address. The distribution of medals and prizes would then commence. While we're going to look forward to our salutatory and valedictory addresses tomorrow during our highly anticipated and wet commencement exercises, this afternoon's baccalaureate ceremony celebrates the academic and community achievements of our students, as well as several members of the faculty and staff. I thank you for joining us and hope you will salute several members of our student body for their well-earned accomplishments during the 2025-26 academic year. At this time, I'd like to introduce our senior class host, as selected by her classmates, Adriana Schmiegel.
Thank you, Dr. Conrad, and good afternoon, fellow classmates, students, families, faculty, and staff. My name is Adriana, and today I will serve as your student host for this afternoon's baccalaureate celebration for the one and only class of 2026. Every class can point to a few students with impressive talents, but not every class can say that their energy truly brings life to campus. In my opinion, that is exactly what makes the Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall class of 2026 so special. As a whole, we are one of the most impactful groups on campus, made up of students who consistently show school spirit, step into leadership roles, and participate with genuine passion in everything that we do. Some might describe us as loud. But that is only because we are excited to be a part of this community and eager to make the most of every opportunity. Our enthusiasm reflects how much we care about being involved and leaving a mark. What truly sets our grade apart is our diversity. We come from all over the world, including local communities, different states, and countries across South America, Europe, and Asia. This mix of backgrounds, experiences, and cultures shapes who we are. When people with such different perspectives come together and build friendships, that is where the best ideas are born. And that is what makes the class of 2026 so unique. Please hold your applause while I recognize each individual student in the Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall class of 2026. Rest, Ifeoluwa Afolabi. Eric Emerson Alexander. Carlos Mario Botero Munoz. Declan Cavaletto. Josemary Mayerly Chavez Alvaracin. Warren Chen. Maya Detmold. Tucker Dublin. Nadalia Dublin Brown. Isaac Duran Castro. Cecilia Friedman. Simonas Gajauskas. Elena Isabel Garcia. Harut Gibson. Matilda Paola Green. Finley Gunther. Grace Han. Anish Jongani. Ashley Kendall. Noel Larrea Jimenez. Kate Liebenberg. Xian Liu. Christopher James Manthai. Jordan Martin. Romeo Martinez. Nikki Maddox. Alexander Queenan Morris. William Carlson Noble. Isaac Orchowski. Avery Spencer Peterson. Adam Pinstein. Maya Reddy. Elijah Ryan. Bailey Joseph Richard. Ayala Rothman Shore. Nana Simpson. Haru Salt. Jonghua Song. Charlie Stamler. Mikey Swift. Myself, Adriana Lena Schmigel. John Tidites. Milo Tucker. Van Duck Nguyen. Ken Vo. Joye Wong. Benjamin Warren. Ethan Weber. And finally, Julian Youngblood. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our faculty speaker. Since my junior year on the cross-country team, despite my very clear and consistent hatred of running, she has had to listen to all of my complaints, excuses, and dramatic suffering. Somehow, instead of telling me to just deal with it, she used her impressive English teacher vocabulary to motivate, encourage, inspire, empower, galvanize, embolden, invigorate, excite, and convince me not to quit on the spot. She even bribed me with a bubble tea to run my last race. Despite never having her as my teacher, I always hear her students say that her class has been one of the best experiences in high school. And as much as I could keep going on how amazing she is, it's better if you hear from her. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Brenna Lewis Slamon.
Hello, everyone. First and foremost, I am a teacher and not a speaker. So as I speak, I would like to invite our graduating seniors to engage in a practice. Underneath your seats, stuck beneath, you have some bubble wands that were provided by Ms. Daniels, Ms. Scafidi, and Ms. Turpin. Please use these throughout this speech to remind us here that while there is space for seriousness and celebration this week, ceremony this weekend, our ultimate purpose is celebration. In this moment, I want us to remember that we are gathered in joy. Beautiful, Ezek. That's when I was told the senior class had asked me to speak today, my first reaction was admittedly one of fear, alongside a great deal of honor. As many of my students know, my relationship to public speaking is adversarial at best. Ultimately, the fact that this was something at least a few of you wanted led me to agree to do it. I then moved to the problem of what I was going to say. And truthfully, fear felt like a logical place to start. Perhaps some of us are sitting with some iteration of it right now. But what exactly are we afraid of? I can speak from a casual survey. We are afraid of tripping as we walk across the stage tomorrow. For others, the feeling is inspired by not fitting in, or worse, not belonging in the communities that we are headed to next. We are afraid of growing apart, of distance forming between us. We are worried about saying the wrong thing at the wrong time in spaces where people don't yet know us. I personally am worried about getting through this speech without crying. Some of us are afraid of time, more so its passing. And even when all goes well, perhaps then we are afraid of being fully seen, of no longer being projects but people. Then the task becomes embracing our humanity, of feeling and trying and failing and starting again, and what could be scarier than that? What a relief it is to talk of fear, to say it aloud in a microphone in front of a crowd. What a relief it is to have heard that others are afraid like us. As I began to write this speech, I focused more and more on what I needed to hear when I was your age. I recall sitting at my own high school graduation feeling a turbulent mix of emotions: excitement, anxiety, nostalgia, a little bit of boredom, and yes, fear. Up until that point, I had allowed fear to dictate many of my choices, insulating me from the full breadth of my own life, which at the time was functional, if not optimal. Even after experiencing quite a bit of success in college, the very first job I applied to as I was graduating was to be a truck driver for a farm. Well, this is fitting, I know. It was also a symptom of the fact that I did not yet know how to dream for myself. I had already worked at this farm, and this decision was an attempt at continuity rather than the realization of what I really wanted. The only reason I started teaching at all, which to be clear is a profession I love, was because a professor signed me up to be a writing tutor without asking me. It was the exact type of opportunity I probably wouldn't have applied to at the time because I was mightily afraid of failing. Gradually, throughout the ensuing 10 years or so, my approach swung in the opposite direction, shifting to a mindset of pursuing fear ravenously. This pendulum of extremes brought me to my first teaching position 8,000 miles away. It took me deep into rural landscapes on solo backpacking treks. Sorry, Mom. And it delivered me to the heart of institutional academic meritocracy, where I realized my values and my ambitions needed to speak to one another more plainly. Some of that sounds exciting, but in practice, I was often out of my depth and longing for familiarity. I don't regret the path I took to learning how to manage my relationship with fear, but through all of that, an alternative arose. I began to wonder, what happens when fear is recognized but not allowed to dominate our decisions? What happens when hope instead is forefront? You see, fear is data. It lets you know when you are stepping out of the familiar. Sometimes it usefully denotes a lack of safety, but for many of us, it often serves to highlight uncertainty. While fear is a natural reaction to ambiguity, so too can be a feeling of possibility. When fear drives our actions, we react in defensiveness, essentially narrowing ourselves into what feels manageable. What I came to realize is that it wasn't in the challenges or successes that I felt most lost. It was in the transitions. And it was not fear that guided me out of those spaces, really. It was whimsy. The courageous act of imagining something new, something joyful, and then trying it. As I understand it, whimsy encompasses a constellation of human states, such as playfulness, spontaneity, wonder, imagination, and yes, hope. These inspire us towards our own best outcomes and sudden joys. Defined beyond small things, whimsy is often necessarily accompanied by a radical optimism, which over time can become an essential counter-practice to fear. You see, fear and hope both attempt to predict the future so that we are better prepared for what comes next. The difference between the two lies in the fact that one prepares us for the worst-case scenario, while the other prepares us for the best. We cannot truthfully ensure either happens, as both are functions of imagination. And so the more we move our actions towards whimsy, the more we create the infrastructure for hope. When I evoke whimsy, I think it is easy to not take it too seriously, like the bubbles I've invited you to grace the crowd with, whimsy can be a decidedly unserious thing. And I think this is both the right and the wrong idea. Not everything requires prior substantiation to become important or necessary even. Take, for example, the way the colors of the pride flag were imposed upon the White House after gay marriage was legalized in 2015. I would argue this is a whimsical act. While not totally necessary for the legal aspects of that moment, it conveyed radical reimaginings of nation, power, and a people that speaks to a sense of possibility. You see, it is the act of divergence sometimes that sets us up for a life we are excited to live, or action that is meaningful. In my own practice of optimism, I look out before me and I see the economist who will reshape his corner of the world to understand rest anew in the functions of productivity and power. And there is the advocate who will reshape environmental justice through his personal practice of compassion and mindfulness. There is at least one amongst us who will someday impress the young people in his life, future children, nieces, nephews, if I'm daring boldly here, students, with his ability to expound upon 90s R&B, hip-hop, and rap in equal measure to critical theories of race, class, and gender. I look forward to reading the article from the neuroscientist in this crowd, whose study of human emotion will redefine how I understand competitiveness. And I hope one day to hear stories of the teacher who will profoundly shape her students' lives because of her own experiences navigating learning differences in the classroom. Before me, I see the future actor who entices me to feel with her even when she has no spoken lines. Imagine. And there is the future writer who finally sees himself as such after years of defining his practice by deficits. Not too far from him is the barber who brings to life hairstyles that allow his clients to be their full, authentic selves, maybe most especially when that runs counter to the expectations of others. I see an engineer who will help us construct a more beautiful and more functional world through her designs, and athletes who practice and practice and practice, and through that effort inspire us all to keep showing up, to keep trying, to grow the muscles we need to support the work. I see the friend who will call at just the right moment and inspire life-giving laughter in the face of heavy grief. And then there are the artists. Set designers, poets, painters, musicians, and photographers who will inspire and provoke and lead us to new realities. Those who take seriously Tony Cade Bambura's line, "The role of the artist is to make the revolution irresistible." They will imagine new worlds. Please don't misunderstand me, though. This optimism does not come from naivety. It roots in observation. To say it simply, our students make it easy to see the best case scenario. I've spent my time here with you all taking in little moments, shared joys, handwritten notes left on desks, a pause at the door and a thank you, a response to my frequent end-of-class adage of "be good to my students, that's you," with "and be good to our teacher too." Over these years, I have witnessed the way you have shown up for each other's games, have answered each other's questions with thoughtfulness and care, and celebrated each other's wins wholeheartedly from the chest. The reason it is easy for me to be optimistic about the future is because I get to witness daily what is good in the world within the students at our school, within each of you. This is all to say, I think it will be okay. Maybe even better than okay. I'm not saying that the right mindset will eliminate the harms of the world or protect you from failure. Rather, I am encouraging you to consider the role mindset does play. Ocean Vuong once wrote, "In a world myriad as ours, the gaze is a singular act. To look at something is to fill your whole life with it, if only briefly." Here he reminds us that what we attend to matters. With the right scope, failure teaches us to be responsive to our own lives. It highlights what we really want and who we really are, the whole complex, beautiful mess of us. It serves as hazard lights for when we aren't living into our values, and sometimes it is just a necessary step in the act of becoming. By recognizing our humanity unflinchingly, we give permission to others to do the same. Some of the greatest leaders I know are people who are unafraid to use those moments of failure as fodder for forward movement. They are experts in hope. Over time, whimsy becomes a practice of seeing possibilities, moments of lift in which we open the door a crack to let something different in. It does not negate the hard parts of life, the immovable systems and institutions, or our personal obstacles. Rather, it moves with them, learning and healing them to create space for something new. And that is precisely what we've gathered here today for, to embrace the uncertain and see the endless possibilities in front of us. Together, we practice leaning into those eventualities as symptoms of a hopeful life. Before I close, I would like to read a piece of a poem I reach for any time I am feeling like hope and whimsy are distant. A Catalog of Unabashed Gratitude by Ross Gay is an anecdote in my mind to despair and pessimism. It is long and honest, a clear-eyed look at all there is to be grateful for, and details at length a thankfulness for community, love in all forms, and grief as a function of love. I want to bring us to the ending today that follows seemingly hundreds of thank yous, where we are delivered upon the truth beneath fear and hope. Soon, it will be over, which is precisely what the child in my dream said, holding my hand, pointing at the roiling sea and the sky, hurtling our way like so many buffalo, who said, "It's much worse than we think, and sooner." To whom I said, "No duh, child in my dreams. What do you think this singing and shuddering is? What this screaming and reaching and dancing and crying is, other than loving what every second goes away?" Ross Gay reminds us that time is fleeting and that how we spend that time is a precious ordeal. He presents an inner child, fearful of the ending, and an adult self who chooses celebration and loving in the face of it. Ultimately, remaining hopeful and whimsical in response to life is a whimsical and radical act, and one that I think brings its own rewards if only you are willing to try. Now, to our seniors, my hopes for you. In moments of uncertainty, find the thing to laugh about that breaks the spell of cynicism. Play, like with your bubbles. Grow curious and get so good. Put yourself in the way of new opportunities. When you see the first hint of failure, grow curious and get so good at seeing those openings for hope that it becomes a second nature, an impulse of whimsical intuition. And please, be good to our graduates. That's you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful speech, Ms. Celeste. Now, I would like to introduce our student speaker and the very first person who talked to me when I was new here. Rest somehow manages to be everything all at once. She's an athlete, a performer, an incredibly talented musician, a dorm nail technician, and an absolute academic weapon. More than all of that, she's one of the kindest people I know, and the only person I have lived with for 3 years and have never heard say a bad word about anyone. She's also the only senior RA who chose to have a roommate to make space for others and stay in the underclassmen dorm, which says a lot about who she is. And if surviving Ms. Sokolo's AP Calculus homework did not prove she can handle anything, I do not know what will. So it is no surprise that our class chose her to speak today. Please give a warm welcome to someone who truly does it all. Rest Afolabi.
Rest, I say. Come again. Rest, I say again, slowly, enunciating. Taken aback, she says, "Is that all? Like R-E-S-T?" I nodded, and her laughter roared. The sound lingered in the air. My lips parted slightly, anticipating my response, but no words came. My name is Rest. It's so simple, but so easily misunderstood. As if on its own, it can never be enough. I'm the third child in my family, following my older siblings, Revival, and Riches, and just before my younger brother, Reward. Our names reflect our parents' salvation and faith journey. Revival brings life. Riches symbolizes the spirituality of peace, joy, and love. Reward represents the gift of salvation. But then there's me, Rest. My siblings' names shape their identities. Revival can walk into a room and instantly there's a lighter atmosphere. Riches encapsulates abundance in all that he does, and Reward's presence is always a present, affirming all who he engages with. Their names feel powerful, and so were they, but mine felt quiet and uncertain, leaving me to question, what do I represent? That question stuck with me. My name was a puzzle piece I did not know how to fit into my life, so I reached for the book that had shaped my family's story, the Bible. Its worn pages carried my journey. My fingers lingered through the familiar pages, yearning for an answer. Then I stumbled across Matthew 11, verse 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. The words seemed to lift off the pages and envelope me. My name no longer felt like a question mark, but a promise that rest isn't just stillness, it is peace. It is liberty from the things that weigh us down. Rest is me. If my name embodied peace, perhaps I can offer that peace to others. This idea led me to start Let's Chat with Matilda. Shout out, eh? To create a safe space for students to feel comfortable, being themselves and open up about their struggles without feeling judged. You may have seen us handing out candy with encouraging words to let people know they are seen, cherished, and their efforts are not going unnoticed. We have also written cards to faculty and staff to appreciate them for the hard work they put in to teach us and take care of our campus. I hope this has made a positive impact on our community, allowing you all to know that you're valued and also have people you can talk to who offer listening ear and encouraging words. I have always been Rest in my caring heart and actions. I didn't need a definition to tell me who I am. But the reminder from the book of Matthew of how my name connects to my identity and purpose continues to drive me. It's not about what others feel when they hear my name, but what I feel when I offer a helping hand or encouraging word to someone. Rest is a strength I can use to encourage and uplift myself and others. It's a piece of me I want to give to you all, the class of 2026, to take with you on your next journey. As we all go on our separate ways, except Adriana and I, we're going to Holy Class. I hope you remember me, of course, Rest, and I also hope you remember to rest. Maybe even thinking of me as you take care of yourself, holding space and finding peace in your adventures. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Rest. Now for the presentation of awards to those students whose achievement and leadership this school year merit special recognition. These awards will fall into 4 different categories. First, junior prizes voted by the faculty and staff. Second, distinguished scholars recognizing focused student accomplishments in particular areas of academic study or social justice and awarded to deserving seniors by the departmental faculty. Third, departmental and program awards selected by the teaching faculty. And fourth, senior awards determined by the full faculty and staff of the school. I'll begin our presentation of awards by recognizing the recipients of the 3 junior awards. We ask the recipients to join us on the left side of the dais to receive the award. The Nancy S. Emery Award, established in 1998 in memory of Nancy Spooner Emery. This award is given to a member of the junior class whose moral character has made a positive difference in the lives of others in the school community. Ben Mulderry. The next two junior class awards acknowledge academic achievement and are awarded in conjunction with distinguished universities. The Rensselaer Medal, given to a junior who demonstrates potential for success in a challenging academic setting. This prize is awarded for excellence in advanced mathematics and science, as well as for significant participation in extracurricular activities. George Vargas. Harvard Book Prize. This prize honors an outstanding student in the rising senior class who combines excellence in scholarship with achievement in other areas. Elsie Concepcion. In keeping with our appreciation for students' individual talents and interests, and to challenge our students to engage deeply in their studies, Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall encourages promising students to pursue recognition as distinguished scholars in STEM, humanities, the arts, world languages, and social justice. These 5 scholarly programs allow students to customize their programs of study and to gain breadth and depth of experience as they simultaneously prepare for college and university study. This year, 16 members of the class of 2026 have gained particular concentrated academic distinction in 4 of these 5 areas and are hereby honored for their deep academic engagement. Each will earn a Distinguished Scholar Diploma from Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall that will be presented during tomorrow's commencement exercises. To begin, I will now introduce Dr. Mike Severia, Chair of the Science Department, and Karen Sokolow, Chair of the Mathematics Department, to announce this year's 3 distinguished scholars in STEM.
Okay, we're going to move this one all the way down. The Distinguished Scholar Diploma in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, or STEM, encourages students to explore the connections between the science they learn in the classroom and its application in the wider world. This program requires students to approach fields of STEM through critical thinking and analysis, communication, creativity, and collaboration. To exemplify these requirements, students uphold high academic standards within the classroom and engage in a variety of experiential learning opportunities, such as seminars, college programs, and other community enrichment activities. We are very proud of the 3 members receiving the award in STEM this year. Please give the recipients a hand as we ask them to come to the stage. Rest Afolabi, Jordan Martin, and Will Noble. Will Noble earned the Distinguished Scholars Diploma in STEM by engaging in the field of neuroscience, specifically around how ADHD is studied, diagnosed, addressed, and intervened. A neuropsychology class at the Boston Leadership Institute gave him a scientific insight into how ADHD is tested and screened for, and allowed him to engage in a statistical analysis into the correlation between diagnostic criteria and the lived experiences of those with ADHD. He was able to apply his findings from the research world, integrating theory with practice to his work with kids in the Special Olympics as an instructor at a ski school. Will should be proud of the work that he has done, and I know will continue to do. Congratulations, Will.
Rest Afolabi earned her STEM DSD through engaging in 2 experiences. Her first was a summer liberal arts institute at Carleton College in Minnesota. Here, Russ took 3 mini courses on geology, physics, and genetics, which included a section on neuroscience that ultimately shaped her future goals, entering into a neuroscience major next year in college. Russ' second experience was working here on campus in the health office with Miss Ashley Jones. Russ took on a position to assist our community in the inner workings of healthcare management. Congratulations to you, Russ. Jordan Martin completed 2 experiences focused on architecture, which he will pursue next year in college. Out of a combined interest from class projects and building games, Jordan participated in the Boston Architectural College Summer Program for college credit. Here he learned the intricacies and variety of the types and subspecialties of architecture, as well as important preparation for succeeding in academics. Jordan also worked as an intern for Outlands Design located out of Martha's Vineyard. Here he was able to practice what he learned and worked responsibly as part of a team designing real-world buildings. Congratulations to you, Jordan. And then, so we kindly ask that Jordan remain on the dais as I introduce the chair of the Visual and Performing Arts Department, Jamie Palmer Keating, to announce this year's 3 distinguished scholars in the arts.
Now you're allowed to go. Now,
Hello, may I ask Shinyan Esther Liu to come to the stage as well? Yeah. Okay. The Distinguished Scholar Diploma in Visual and Performing Art was created to inspire young artists to see, reflect upon, and interpret our world in fresh and challenging ways. I believe that the visual and performing arts provide a dynamic and necessary vehicle through which young people can explore their creative identities and help make sense of the world around them. The visual and performing arts also play a role in challenging some of the assumptions from which we operate as a society and in helping us to look at ourselves and others in new and exciting ways. The students who have earned this diploma have dedicated themselves to exploring how their artistic vision, voice, and skills can shape not only their own creative identities, but also positively impact the community through the community art component of the program. They have spent summers refining their craft, invested countless hours into developing portfolios and productions, and shared their work with panels of faculty while completing meaningful community-based projects as the culmination of their studies. We begin with Shinyan Esther Liu, an accomplished photographer whose work reflects her deeply curious, thoughtful, and compassionate nature. Through her lens, Esther seeks to understand the world from the perspectives of those around her, creating work that makes people feel seen, heard, and valued. In the words of her teacher, Luke Diorio, Esther has done truly incredible work throughout her distinguished scholar journey, and I could not be more proud of everything she has created. Her portfolio reflects far more than technical skill. It showcases a powerful creative voice, an impressive range across photography, film, and other media, and a level of authorship that genuinely sets her apart. Through both her community project and her deeply personal portfolio work, Esther consistently challenged herself to explore meaningful themes of identity, performance, and storytelling with thoughtfulness, originality, and visual strength. What has been especially remarkable is the way Esther has pushed beyond expectations. She has embraced portraiture and multidisciplinary work with exceptional professionalism, creativity, and ambition, well beyond what is typical at this stage. Her willingness to take creative risks, refine her craft, and produce work with both emotional depth and artistic intention has been inspiring to witness. Watching Esther's growth over the past several years has been incredibly rewarding. She has developed not only as an artist, but as a thoughtful storyteller with a distinct perspective. Esther's talent, dedication, and creative voice position her incredibly well for whatever path she chooses, and I have no doubt she can pursue this professionally at a very high level. Congratulations, Esther. Next, we move to Jordan Martin, our first ever recipient of a Distinguished Scholar Diploma in Performing Arts. Yay. In addition to marking an exciting milestone for our DSD program, this recognition also serves as a launching point for Jordan as he continues his musical journey beyond Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall. For his distinguished scholar work, Jordan took a deeply personal and reflective approach, exploring the music of his youth and the ways it has carried him through his high school years. His project examined how music can become more than entertainment, how it can serve as a sounding board for life, a source of comfort, identity, and understanding during moments of growth and challenge. Through this full circle exploration, Jordan demonstrated not only his musical talent, but emotional insight and authenticity. His music teacher, Alana Epstein, shared this about Jordan. Throughout his time at Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall, Jordan has been a constant figure in the music department. He has performed at almost every concert over his 4 years on various instruments, supporting the work of other musicians and shining in his own right. Outside of school, Jordan regularly performs with his church group at Sunday services and is always listening to music. He is truly a collaborative musician and passionate about his interests. Jordan's presence in our arts community has been defined not only by his talent, but his generosity, consistency, and genuine love of music. We are incredibly proud to recognize him as our first Distinguished Scholar Diploma recipient in Performing Arts. Finally, I'd like to recognize Junghwa Song, a Visual Art Distinguished Scholar Diploma recipient this year. Junghwa could not be with us today as she was invited to participate in an international arts conference in South Korea and had to leave early. While we miss having her here, this opportunity feels especially fitting for someone whose creativity and dedication have already reached far beyond our school community. As an artist, collaborator, and leader, Junghwa's thoughtful presence has elevated our arts program throughout her time here. Whether through her visual artwork, whether she consistently challenged herself to take creative risks and push her ideas further, or through her nationally recognized musical theater project and set design work, Stella brought both vision and excellence to everything she pursued. Just as important as her artistic accomplishments is the kindness and respect she showed to those around her. Junghwa always had a thoughtful word of encouragement for her peers, and she helped create a community where others felt supported and inspired. We are incredibly proud of all she has achieved and excited to see where her talent and generosity will lead her next. Please join me in congratulating Junghwa. Thank you to all of our visual and performing arts students who spent their time working towards this diploma and engaging in our arts community through this process. We look forward to following your artistic journeys once you step off this campus. All of these students leave CHCH a more beautiful and dynamic place because of their contributions. I hope that their past and future creative endeavors might inspire all of us to find new ways of expressing what is in our hearts and minds. Thank you again. I would like to welcome the chair of the World Languages Department, Christine O'Brien, to announce this year's 3 Distinguished Scholars in World Languages.
The Distinguished Scholars Diploma with a concentration in world languages recognizes and celebrates a student's dedication to mastering a second or a third language while gaining a deeper appreciation for the cultures, histories, and peoples that shape it. This program honors students who embody a commitment to global citizenship through self-awareness, thoughtful reflection, and the pursuit of meaningful connections across cultural boundaries. By fostering linguistic proficiency, cultural competence, and a mindset attuned to social justice, the program prepares students to navigate and contribute to an increasingly interconnected world. On behalf of the World Languages Department, it is my honor to introduce and congratulate this year's 3 diploma recipients. Please join me in welcoming Rest Afolabi, Nadalia Dublin-Brown, and Kate Liebenberg as they come to the Throughout her time at CHCH, Rest has consistently demonstrated her passion for the French language and culture in meaningful ways. As Marilu Agbi, her French teacher and advisor, can attest, Rest has worked incredibly hard to advance her language skills and to cultivate a deep appreciation for the rich diversity of the Francophone world. Beyond the classroom, Rest participated in the Experiment in International Living, an immersive summer program designed to enrich language skills and provide firsthand cultural experiences. While living in France, she traveled to Paris, Valence, and Lyon, embracing every opportunity to learn and grow. Rest shared that one of her favorite moments from the program was singing with her host family, a reflection of her deep sense of community and her belief in the power of language to connect and share lives across cultures. Rest's experiences have given her true perspective on what it means to be a global citizen, broadening her worldview and deepening her love for the diverse world she is part of as she graduates. Congratulations, Rest. I've had the privilege of getting to know and work with our second Distinguished Scholars Diploma recipient, I'm not gonna cry, Natalia Dublin Brown. It has been an honor to witness her growth, not only as a language learner, but also as a young adult discovering her own voice and, sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm not doing this. Confidently advocating for who she is. Ooh, sorry, oh my goodness. Ooh, okay. In addition to producing exceptional projects, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get through this.
There's no worry.
In addition to producing exceptional work that showcased her linguistic abilities and her empathetic perspective of the world, Natalia has served as a teacher's assistant in Miss Cruz's Spanish 1 class this year. As Miss Cruz has shared, Natalia was an integral part of the classroom, supporting students with her knowledge and kindness. Over the course of the year, Natalia planned and delivered her own creative lessons and assessments. Her ability to design learning materials with each student's growth in mind is a testament to her character and her fit within the CHCH community. Natalia also designed and taught Spanish classes for beginners on weekends right here on our campus. She researched language acquisition theory by Dr. Stephen Caution, discovering that the way she first learned Spanish aligned with the theory's core values. Drawing on her own experiences and her knowledge of language education, Natalia developed fun and engaging lessons for our campus kids and adults in the CHCH community, putting research-based best practices into action. I am very proud of Natalia for the work and heart she has put into pursuing this diploma. Congratulations, Natalia. In my 13 years at CHCH, I have encountered very few students who demonstrate both their remarkable dedication to language studies and the wonderful sense of humor that our third Distinguished Scholars Diploma recipient, Kate Liebenberg, embodies. Kate has consistently excelled throughout her 3 years of advanced Spanish classes, producing work that highlights her language skills and deep understanding of the diversity within the Spanish-speaking world. Ooh, okay. Nope, not again. Okay, Kate also participated in an intensive, fully immersive summer program at Concordia Language Villages, challenging herself to further advance her communication skills in both formal and informal settings. In addition, she completed an independent studies course this past year to prepare for the AP Spanish language and culture exam. Kate also worked closely with the admissions office this year to create marketing brochures in Spanish, leaving her legacy as one of the most advanced language learners in our school. It has been an honor to witness Kate's growth over her 4 years in pursuit of the diploma. Congratulations, Kate. And for our fourth and final concentration, I'd like to introduce Dr. Ian McPhail, Chair of the History Department, and Graham Peel, Chair of the English Department, to recognize our 9 distinguished scholars in humanities.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'd like to invite our 9 scholars to the stage. Elena Garcia, Matilda Green, Ashley Kendall, Nikki Maddox, Avery Peterson, Elijah Ryan, Ayelet Rothman-Shore, Adriana Smizio, and Iris Wong. Please come on. The Distinguished Scholar Diploma in the Humanities represents an intersection of human life, human study, passion, and interest. These 9 distinguished scholars, as you will see soon, really embraced the breadth of those opportunities. I'll start with the history department. Our 4 scholars in the history, yeah. Woo! Okay, our 4 scholars in the history department really embraced the social studies aspect of the history department. We have a wide variety of pursuits here, and I'll start with Matilda. For her Distinguished Scholar Diploma, Matilda pursued her interest in history, culture, and a global perspective through the lens of art and art history for her DSD. She developed her own independent project centering on material culture, textiles, currency, transportation systems, and how they reflect identity, power, and lived experience. This culminated in a series of interviews with museum professionals to better understand how history and culture are both preserved and presented to the world. Congratulations, Matilda. Elijah Ryan. Elijah used his passion for architecture and design alongside his interest in public policy and politics to pursue his DSD with a focus in public housing policy and design in the United States. He interned at the Massachusetts State House and completed a pre-college program at RISD centered around architecture, along with a heavily focused academic theme that followed his coursework at CHCH. Congratulations, Elijah. You all have already met Adriana. Adriana is a strong public speaker and researcher, and she pursued her DSD with a focus on law and the role that lawyers play in the legal system. She completed 2 internships at law firms in Poland, including international firm A&O Shearman, where she discovered a passion for real estate law and not a passion for banking law. Alongside her coursework and participation in clubs like Model UN, Adriana's work around legal systems, human rights, and the law set her up for a strong future pursuing this in college and beyond. Congratulations, Adriana. Iris Wong. It's a lovely jacket you have. Iris focused her DSD work on economics, and specifically the importance of identity as a motivating factor in behavioral economics and its impact on culture. Iris spent a summer interning at the Zeeland Vinegar Factory, where she observed this phenomenon in action. She also completed a summer program at the University of Chicago, where she learned the theoretical underpinnings behind behaviors that she observed in her time in the factory. Iris's work concluded that alongside monetary incentives, identity and social structure influence individual economic decisions. Congratulations, Iris.
Okay, thank you, Dr. McPhail. The English Distinguished Scholars Award recognizes a student who has shown exceptional curiosity, creativity, and commitment to the study of language and literature. The award honors not only strong reading and writing, but also the ability to think deeply, take creative risks, and use storytelling, analysis, and self-expression to better understand our world and our place in it. Our recipients this year. First, we have Elena Garcia. Elena's Distinguished Scholars work shows what can happen when a student takes on something that does not come easily and works with it until it becomes their own. Poetry was not always Elena's comfort zone, but through this project she transformed that challenge into a published volume of 42 poems. By organizing her work around poetic elements and style, she created a collection that reflects both her growth as a writer and her careful attention to craft. For her creativity, thoughtfulness, and meaningful contribution to the humanities, we are proud to recognize Elena Garcia as a distinguished scholar in the humanities. Ashley Kendall's work represents years of sustained effort, creativity, and dedication. For her project, she developed a full murder mystery screenplay, following a group of friends as they try to solve the disappearance of someone central to their group. In her script, Ashley developed characters, shaped dialogue, built suspense, and structured scenes, while also exploring the importance of reading and the risks of trusting strangers online and dangers of social media. For her persistence, thoughtfulness, and creative accomplishment, we're proud to recognize Ashley Kendall as a distinguished scholar in humanities. Nicky Maddox's Distinguished Scholar work reflects a deep and long-standing passion for writing. He has always written prolifically, and that love of storytelling grew into an ambitious goal, writing his own book. To develop his craft, Nicky took creative writing classes where he began thinking more deliberately about cohesion and how characters, plot, world, and structure work together. This year, he finished his first installment of that project and self-published his own book, turning years of imagination, effort, and persistence into success. For his passion, persistence, and commitment to developing his voice as a writer, we're proud to recognize Nicky Maddox as a Distinguished Scholar. Avery Peterson's Distinguished Scholar work reflects a deep and personal relationship with music, especially lyricism. My first introduction to Avery was on the JV soccer team, where he would bring his ukulele to every practice and play it on the bus to games. Even then, music was clearly part of how he moved through the world. After his time in the music program at Berkeley, Avery developed and released his first album on Spotify, an eclectic and experimental mix of genres that reflected on his own family history. He also spoke thoughtfully about performance and how each time he plays a song, he lets it shift in response to the moment. For his originality, musical curiosity, and personal commitment to lyricism and performance, we're proud to recognize Avery Peterson as a Distinguished Scholar International. And last but definitely not least, Ayelet's Distinguished Scholar work grows out of a lifelong love of storytelling. She has always been a prolific inventor of stories, with an active imagination and a clear desire to create worlds, characters, and voices of her own. Over the past 3 years, Ayelet worked to turn that natural creativity into craft. She took writing courses, studied the choices that writers make, and pushed herself to develop greater control over structure, language, and form. The result is a collection of short stories and poems that reflect both her imagination and her growth as a writer. For her creativity, imagination, and sustained commitment to developing her craft, we're proud to recognize Ayelet Ruthman-Shore as a Distinguished Scholar.
The senior departmental prizes are awarded to seniors for their exceptional work and performance in the academic departments of the school. The English prize acknowledges 2 seniors this year who have both demonstrated consistent interest and achieved success in all areas of the subject. Xinyan Liu and Van Duck Nguyen. Esther, Michael? The Donald Welch Social Studies Prize was named in 2001 to honor Donald Welch, teacher of social studies for 28 years, and is awarded to a senior who has both completed excellent work in social studies and demonstrated genuine interest in the field. Adriana Spiegel. The Allen American Studies Prize, given by the Allen family in memory of Neil Woodside Allen, grandfather of David Allen, class of 1993, and Nicholas Allen, class of 1995. It's awarded to a senior for outstanding achievement and genuine interest in United States history, government, and politics. Elijah Ryan. The Bishens Strachman Economics Prize was established by Andrew A. Bishens, class of 1989, and trustee Daniel A. Strachman, class of 1989, and is awarded to the senior who has taken economics most to heart, as evidenced by involvement in class discussion, as well as curiosity about and enthusiasm for current events. Carlos Mario Botero Munoz. The Farnsworth Mathematics Prize is awarded in the name of Ray D. Farnsworth, head of Chapel Hill School from 1947 to 1961, to a senior who has completed excellent work in mathematics while consistently demonstrating a deep and genuine interest in the field. Jiayue Wang. Iris. The Kurt Science Prize, named for Franklin T. Kurt, goes to a senior who has not only produced excellent work, but also demonstrated a deep and genuine interest in the field of science. Van Duc Nguyen. Michael. The Lewis C. Clapp Science Prize was established in 2001 in the name of Lewis Clapp, Chauncey Hall, class of 1954, and is awarded to a senior with a keen interest in science who, while also demonstrating kindness and concern for others, is curious to learn and enjoys being challenged. Josemary Chavez. The Paul Economides Prize is named for Paul Economides, French teacher from 1960 to 1989 and chair emeritus of the World Language Department. And it's given to a senior who has demonstrated consistent interest and skill in a world language. Rest Afolabi. The Performing Arts Prize is presented to the senior whose creativity, artistic ability, and outstanding work in the performing arts merit special recognition. Ayelet Rothman Shore. The Visual Arts Prize goes to a member of the graduating class whose creativity, artistic ability, and outstanding work in the visual arts merit special recognition. Xinyan Liu. Esther. The Jose Rafael Abarrida Sportspersonship Award, established by family and friends in memory of Jose Rafael Abarrida, class of 1978, recognizes two students who have shown the highest degree of citizenship in athletic endeavors. This year's recipients are Isaac Duran Castro and Yarielis Toribio. It is now my privilege to present the faculty prizes for seniors as voted upon by the entire faculty and staff of Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall. Surya Kal Singh Khalsa Award, given in the name of Dr. Surya Kal Singh Khalsa, head of school at Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall from 2002 to 2009. This award is presented to a graduating senior who exemplifies social consciousness, demonstrating outstanding courage, respect, and kindness during their development as a valued member of our school and the community. Nadalia Dublin Brown. MIT Prize, awarded to a senior who has realized high academic achievement. This prize recognizes the balancing of a challenging course load and the application of technology in the pursuit of excellence. Jiayue Wang, Iris. Faculty prizes. Voted on by the faculty, these prizes are awarded to members of the senior class who have been outstanding citizens, contributing significantly to the general well-being or spirit of the school. The first of 4 prizes goes to Carlos Marios Otero Munoz. Isaac Duran Castro. Ashley Kendall. And Van Duck Nguyen. Michael. School Spirit Award. This prize recognizes the senior who has consistently demonstrated a positive attitude toward the school. Adriana Schmiegel. Heads Prize. The Heads Prize honors the senior who has shown the most improvement during their time at CHCH. Avery Peterson. And the Worcester Prize, established in memory of Joseph Worcester, who served for many years on the Board of Trustees of Chapel Hill School. This prize is awarded annually to the senior with a high academic record who has most consistently displayed leadership, integrity, personal humility, and service to the school. Rest Afolabi. At this time, I'd like to capture a brief but important moment to recognize fierce loyalty and steady longevity to Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall School. The following colleagues of mine have completed significant 10-year milestones at CHCH and deserve our collective thanks and appreciation. Please hold your applause until I have recognized all 21 individuals who are asked to stand when their names are called, with gifts to follow at a separate recognition luncheon next week. Completing 5 years, Ellie Berglund, Samantha Cruz, Luke Diorio, Shannon Fortin, Anna Ibave, Rebecca Lemaitre, Amy Maniscalco, Alyssa Meserve, Connor Moqueen, Pamela Palomero, Mike Severia. With 10 years of service, Ilana Epstein, Leslie Jacobson Kay, Jackie McDonald, Lizzie Rosen. 15 years of dedicated service for Ben Riggs, Jenny Scafidi, completing 2 decades of faithful commitment with me, Will Bailey, Lori White, and with a quarter-century of amazing service to this school, Josh Bubar and Gwen Shipley, give it up! The Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall Society Prize honors a current or former member of the faculty or staff and grants membership in the Chapel Hill-Chauncy Hall Society. The award is given to a faculty or staff member in grateful recognition of devoted service and extraordinary dedication to the students and mission of the school. I am so incredibly pleased and proud to present this year's recipient, Brooke Fink. Brooke Fink. Thank you. I would now like to invite the chair of the Visual and Performing Arts Department, Jamie Palmer-Keating, to return to the dais, as well as this year's publications team, for the presentation of our 2026 yearbook. Ms. Palmer-Keating?
All right, I'll wait for my students to arrive. We're waiting. Hi again. I'm here to just say a couple of quick words about this group of students who we are missing a couple, but I just want to recognize how much work they put into this yearbook to capture this school year that involves every single one of you in this tent, whether it was coaches that we asked you for 1,000 quotes, or for pictures, Ms. Palomero and the media interns taking photos, to parents finding those baby pictures or sending in messages for your seniors. We really spent a lot of hours putting together 148 pages that this group behind me designed from start to finish. So I just want to thank them for all of their efforts in putting that together and all of yours. I'm going to introduce Ashley Kendall, our editor-in-chief, to present this year's yearbook dedication.
Throughout this person's 13 years at CHCH, they have made a big impact on this community. When we asked their colleagues about them, they shared passionately about how much of an inspiration this person is. Whether it's their take on a challenge in facing global issues in their day-to-day, or in a way they teach their students. About this person, Ms. Turpin said, "This teacher listens deeply, asks hard questions of themselves and the world, and then takes action with clarity and compassion." Mrs. Henry says, "I think the quality of this person's personality that stands out most to me is just how inspiring they are. They inspire me to approach problems in a new way, to consider alternatives to the status quo and speak out loud and proud about what I believe. They have been a transformational teacher for so many students, and I hope they know how much of their colleagues have also been transformed with them. As a student, I am so lucky to have had the pleasure of experiencing this firsthand. In my time in their classroom, they have taught me so many things, not only about the subject, but about being a kind human and ways to connect the material to current events. It makes sense that the class of 2026 chose them to receive the dedication. I am so proud to announce that this year's yearbook dedication goes to Karen Sokolow. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer Keating. To the class of 2026, as soon-to-be graduates of CHCH, our newest alumni, your role in the community is going to change, but your connection with our community really should not. As alumni, you will carry a different set of responsibilities now: to stop by campus whenever you can, to keep in touch with your teachers and your fellow classmates, to share news of your milestones and accomplishments, to support your alma mater in any way you can, and to serve as ambassadors of CHCH wherever your travels may take you. At this time, I also wish to briefly recognize and thank the 28 senior members of the National Honor Society for their outstanding leadership, character, and service to the school and the communities around us. Your presence and presence have benefited all of us and will have a lasting impact for years to come. Moreover, I would be remiss to not thank the entire class of 2026 for their incredible contributions to our athletic, visual and performing arts, and club programs over the years. For the many league championships to leveraging our amazing visual and performing arts spaces, you have left incredible marks all around. With that, I'd like to bring to a close the 2026 Baccalaureate ceremony. Congratulations to all CHCH students and faculty. In particular, kudos to the class of 2026. I would like you to have fun at your on-campus block party this evening, but please make good decisions. We look forward to your commencement exercises beginning at 10 a.m. sharp tomorrow. Graduates should plan to arrive at Beaver Gymnasium now, no later than 9:15 in the morning for regalia prep. Yes, that's right, a slight weather change of plans for tomorrow's processional due to unexpected, or I should say expected, inclement weather. As we conclude the ceremony, I will declare seniors first one last time for the purpose of receiving your yearbooks under the guidance of our talented publication staff and Ms. Palmer Keating, who will assist in the distribution and gladly deserve your praise along the way. With that, I thank you for attending and ask that you join me in one last round of applause for our soon-to-be graduates. Seniors first!